Did you know that between 1299 and 1922, the Ottoman Empire stretched from North Africa to Southeast Europe? Today, we will take a look at one of history's longest-lasting empires, the Ottoman Empire, in 10 minutes. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. First, a quick disclaimer. The Ottomans ruled over some of the land that today belongs to 18 different countries. And so, it is impossible for us to cover every country equally in just 10 minutes. So instead, we will focus on the empire's origins, its peak during the 16th century, and how it eventually led to the emergence of modern Turkey. But if you would like to learn more about the Ottomans, click the link in the description below for an additional resource. So let's start by meeting the Ottomans. The Ottoman Empire was founded in 1299 by Osman I. He was the leader of a Turkish tribe called the Ottomans. His predecessors had migrated to Anatolia in the 11th century, which is modern-day Turkey. At the time, Anatolia was part of the Byzantine Empire. However, the Byzantines were preoccupied with fighting the Fourth Crusade and were thus unable to defend their territory against the Turks. As a result, the Ottomans were able to conquer much of western Anatolia by the late 13th century. Under Osman's leadership, they continued to expand until he conquered the city of Bursa and made it his capital. This marked the official establishment of the Ottoman Empire. Osman's son, Orhan, continued this trend and conquered the Byzantine city of Edirne in 1365. From here, Orhan began constructing the Ottoman navy, which would later dominate the seas around the Mediterranean. Murad, the first Orhan's successor, expanded the empire into the Balkans. In 1389, his army defeated the Serbian army at the Battle of Kosovo. This victory marked the beginning of Ottoman rule in the Balkans. Murad's successors would continue to conquer the Byzantine Empire until only Constantinople remained. It would take another 100 years, but in 1453, Mehmed II would capture the city, ending the Byzantine Empire after 1100 years. With the conquest of Constantinople, the Ottomans gained control over the Bosporus Strait, which connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. This gave them control over trade between Europe and Russia, and thus the Ottomans became very wealthy. Mehmed also conquered cities in Anatolia and the Middle East. By the end of his reign, the Ottomans controlled much of southeastern Europe, all of Anatolia, and parts of the Arabian Peninsula. Suleiman the Grim conquered the remaining Byzantine territories in 1512 and 1517. The following year, he invaded Egypt and Syria, defeating the Mamluk Sultan. This extended Ottoman control into North Africa, Suleiman the Magnificent, who reigned from 1520 to 1566. Is often regarded as the greatest Ottoman Sultan. He continued the expansion of the empire into Europe, conquering Hungary and threatening Vienna. He also fought several wars in the Middle East against the Safavids and the Habsburgs. During Solomon's reign, the empire reached its territorial peak. It stretched from North Africa to Iran and from Hungary to the Arabian Peninsula. Under Solomon, the Ottomans became a major naval power, dominating the Mediterranean. They even briefly invaded Italy. Solomon ruled over a flourishing economy, thanks in part to the introduction of new accounting rules. Istanbul, the capital of the Ottomans, became a cosmopolitan city with people from all over the world coming to live there. A massive palace complex was built there. Over the next decades, the empire stagnated. The Ottomans still held vast amounts of territory, but they were no longer able to expand. In the meantime, Europe was undergoing significant changes. The Renaissance led to the Age of Exploration, which resulted in European powers colonizing large parts of the Americas. Furthermore, the Protestant Reformation divided Europe and led to several wars. In the Middle East, the Safavid Empire grew stronger and defeated the Ottomans in several wars. By the 18th century, the Ottoman Empire was in decline. The population declined because of several plagues, and the economy stagnated. In addition, ambitious European powers began to challenge Ottoman control in the Mediterranean. The Ottomans tried to reform and modernize the empire, but these efforts proved to be unsuccessful. In 1914, World War I broke out. The Ottomans sided with these Central Powers, hoping to regain some of their former territories. However, they lost the war, and their defeat led to the collapse of the empire. In 1922, the last Ottoman Sultan was deposed and the modern Republic of Turkey was established. And now it's time for a quick recap. The Ottoman Empire lasted for over 400 years, making it one of the longest-lasting empires in history. The first Ottoman Sultan was Osman, the first who established the empire in 1299. The empire reached its peak under Suleiman the Magnificent in the 16th century. During its existence, the Ottomans fought against many other empires, including the Byzantines, the Mamluks, and the Habsburgs. The Ottomans also ruled over large parts of modern-day Turkey, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, Kosovo, Bosnia, Croatia, Libya, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt. The Ottoman Empire ended in 1922 when the last Ottoman Sultan was deposed. We hope that you enjoyed learning about the Ottoman Empire. If you did, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we release a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time!